What is up, everybody? We are here with our NBA preview. I got my boy Lance on the line,
What's up?
and we're going to be talking NBA basketball today. This is our first podcast, and as you guys can see, the room is fucked up and behind me. You think I'm kidding? Me and Dom decided to move everything out of the way, and it just hasn't gone back to place.
Life happens, you know? Life
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. So I ain't too worried about it. But here we are with our NBA 2018 season preview, and pretty much we're gonna go be ABC order, Atlanta to all the way down to the Wizards, Washington Wizards, and we're gonna talk about teams projections, team players, what do you think of specific players, and notable signings and off-season moves. Because we decided to do this at the last minute, like keep it 100. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're gonna start with the Atlanta Hawks and the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. We got Trae Young, Kent Bazemore. I believe it's Taurean Prince.
I think so. I think it's Tareen.
Taurean. I don't know. John Collins and Dwayne Dedman as the starting center. That is.
Okay.
I thought Miles Plumlee was the starting center on that team. Or Mason Plumlee, or whatever her name is.
You know, the Plumleys, like, I lose track of the Plumleys every single year. Like, I lose track of which Plumlee goes where and which Plumlee is who. Like, so, you know, they're in the league somehow. So, well, not somehow. They're skilled, but, like, they're just in the league. Like, you don't know what team they're going to play for. They're just in the league.
Yeah, they're always a surprise. Like, you're just like, oh yeah, you got the whole Plumlee family. Like, all three of them managed to make it to the NBA. This is what the Ball family's trying to do, but it's not working for them.
For obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, but it amazes me that their whole family is in the league, and then also on top of that, speaking of families, the Zeller family is still in the league too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That blows me away as well, because in my honest opinion, none of the Zellers are very good.
I agree with you. I agree with you. The Plumleys actually like have some game though. Like
they're garbage men. That's what I call them. All three of them, they're garbage men.
But the thing is that there's a role for that in the league. That's why they're there.
That's very true. The Zellers are just soft.
Yeah.
Anyways. Speaking of the Atlanta Hawks, what do you think of, like, I saw their game against the Heat yesterday. They were all right. They lost by 20 though. This is where we expected them to be. They're probably going to be one of the bottom tier teams in the East. So what do you believe is like their ceiling right now? Like, because there's just so many moves that they made over the summer, and it just some of them didn't make sense to me.
I think their ceiling is probably like, you know, there's like best case scenario they missed the playoffs by like a couple of games, like they'd be like number 9 in the East or something like that. I'll tell you what though, they like all of the media and stuff wants them to be good so they can tout Trae Young. You know that for sure.
100. I'm with you 100% there. Like, I've seen him. I saw him in the summer league. I saw him in the preseason. And for right now, I really don't see anything too special with him.
I agree. Well, see, I watched him in college, and like he has some skill, but like I don't know if it's gonna transfer. They keep talking about how he's like the next coming of Steph Curry, but like he doesn't have Steph's intangibles or the other things Steph does well. So like I'm not seeing
it. Me neither. It blows me away. Like I understand why they want to tout him as such, because he can be very marketable. Like, yeah. He's easily marketable, but like I just don't see it. I can't. Obviously I'm going to give him 2 to 3 years, but after that third year, he's going to be an Anthony Bennett to me. Just he's going to be a starter on the Hawks. That's it.
Yeah.
But notable signings for me for the Atlanta Hawks is Jeremy Lin getting traded by the Nets to the Hawks. He's going to be, if he's not starting, I think he's going to be a contender for 6th Man of the Year.
Okay.
With Alex Len also being picked up from the Suns after they waived him this year. And then my boy, Vince Carter.
The ageless one.
The ageless one, man. Father Time is never going to catch up to him.
I agree.
Those are my notable signings of this year for him. I don't even know anything about the other 2 draft picks that they picked up. Like, they got like a Kevin Herter and Omari Spellman. I have no idea who those men are. I feel really bad. I should probably look that up before. But then the notable outs. We have the people who they traded. They got rid of Carmelo Anthony after they waived him. He was on there for 10 seconds, so he don't even count. But he came over in the Dennis Schroeder trade to the Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't know why they got rid of Schroeder. He was what? He was what, 24 years old?
Yeah. And I don't know either. See, I think it's part of their rebuild process because he was the last piece left over from their playoff run a few years ago. So I guess they're just starting a whole new thing now with all these young guys.
That's very true. I understand why they did it, but you could have built around him. That dude is gifted as shit.
I agree.
And we're gonna talk about him when we get to the Thunder down there below, but we got like 28 other teams to talk about. But I don't know. Atlanta Hawks, they're going to probably be definitely the top tier. We're not expecting too much out of them this year. Out of 10, what do you rate this team right now?
With 10 being the best?
10 being the best, 1 being the worst.
Let's give them about a 5.
A 5? All right. That means they could be like 8 and lower in the seedings then. 8 to
yes,
11.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. That's not too bad. And then they re-signed no one. They said, fuck it.
Yeah.
So they said,
again, they're it's like a rebuild. They're starting fresh. Like Trae Young is the start of their new little regime over there.
Yeah, but speaking of which, like I'm reading this the NBA from the CBS. I'm gonna put those links in the description below so y'all can take a look at what we're looking at. But the rebuilding Hawks gambled by trading Luka Doncic for Trae Young and a protected 2019 first-round pick. That blows me away. That absolutely blows me away because imagine they picked up Luka Doncic.
Yeah,
his game is translating, but let's get down to the Mavs when we talk about him and see what their ceiling is down there below. But next, we're going to talk about the favorites of the East. We have the Boston Celtics, and I don't know, these guys. This whole team is looking fucking scary.
It's stacked. It's a stacked team.
They're oh my gosh! Looking at them, it's scary to see. They have the highest ceiling out of anybody in the East, and they're just I don't know. They got some crazy ass bench as well.
Agreed.
Like you got Terry Rozier coming off the bench. You got who else? Marcus Smart. Speaking of Marcus Smart, did you see him try to fight J.R. Smith?
I love it.
I love it too. I love it too. I thought it was a very interesting dynamic, especially for preseason that they had there. But it's setting the pace for them for the rest of the year.
I agree.
Definitely, because they're going to be the team to beat. Because the starting five of the Boston Celtics, we got Kyrie Irving. Then we got Jaylen Brown playing the shooting guard. Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum at the power forward, and Al Horford at the center position. So they pretty much have the same lineup as last year, just without the injuries.
Yes.
Like, oh man, they had so many injuries last year. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but like look at the production though throughout that. Like even with the injuries to their two best players, they go to a Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So like I expect them to be right back in the Eastern Conference Finals. I expect them in the finals this year. I mean, just looking at that team, I'm like, if they don't make it that way, it'll be a disappointment.
Yeah, and I definitely think some moves are going to be made in the offseason if they can't make it to the finals this year.
Oh, I agree.
Because like and if you look at their whole lineup and you take out their second unit, you have Terry Rozier starting at the point guard. You got Marcus Smart starting at your shooting guard, and then you can stick in who else? Marcus Morris.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right there. You can stick anybody at the power forward, and then you got Aaron Baines coming off the bench as well.
Agreed.
And that
they'll probably go small, most likely.
Oh yeah.
For sure. But that'll be an interesting lineup to see them trot out there, like having like Morris at the 4, or hell, having him at the 3 sometimes, giving Gordon Hayward a spell.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I do agree with you there. And then I don't know. I think Kyrie and definitely Hayward have something to prove this year. They definitely want to prove to the rest of the league that they are worth the money that they're spending on them.
Agreed.
And I don't know. And then you got like, I don't even care about the dudes who they brought in, because they only literally brought 2 dudes in just to fill out their roster. But
they'll probably end up just being, how you call them? What do you call them? They're D-League players, like they're two-way players.
Yeah. But I think Brad Wanamaker is an interesting player in the preseason. He played a little bit in the preseason. He got re-signed by them, or he was a free agent pickup. He's a two-way guard, so he can play offense and defense. And I bet you he's there just in case. So,
probably
because unfortunately with Kyrie's history throughout the league, he's just been more injured than not.
Yeah,
I don't think he's ever played. I don't think he has ever had a full 82 game season.
I don't think he has.
So,
if he's not careful, Kyrie could be like a Derrick Rose type.
Oh yeah, that would
what I mean?
That would be so sad too, because he's so gifted, and that's like sad to think about it that way. I didn't think. I was just like, there's Kyrie, like he's gonna come out and ball out, doesn't even matter. But they're noticeable outs for the Celtics. I think the most interesting one is Greg Monroe, but
yeah,
I knew he was gonna leave. He didn't want to play off no bench.
Yeah, that's true.
And the funny thing is, he don't play off the bench in the Raptors anyways.
Well, yeah. Well, the even funnier thing is, like, that's where he needs to be. He is a bench player at this point.
How old is he?
I don't know, but he's been in the league for a little bit.
That's true.
Didn't he come in the same draft class as Andre Drummond when they were like, "Oh, the big man is back"?
Oh yeah, I just googled it. Greg Monroe is only 28 years old.
Oh my god.
And his game is obsolete.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, centers. We're going to be bragging on you probably this whole video. Just because of how the center position has changed. And we're going to be definitely poking holes in a lot of these center position players, because they don't work. These back-to-the-basket centers don't work anymore, unfortunately.
I agree.
Like,
their role has changed. And so, like, you have to, like, I mean... But that's a deep dive we can get into later on this podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know who's going to be the sleeper on this Boston Celtics team? And even though he's not even supposed to be a sleeper, is Al Horford.
He's so much better than like I think people realize.
I agree. He's literally carried the Atlanta Hawks team for so long. He led that team last year after all the leaders went down. Even though he would have been the leader anyways. He just has like a big voice, and he's just that good.
Yeah.
I don't know. He has all the intangibles you want in a leader too, and a center that's mobile. He can shoot the three, and he can play. He can protect the basket very easily compared to some of these other centers here. On this starting list, it's so crazy to me to think. Like, he has been slept on all summer. Nobody has talked about him all summer.
I agree.
It's only been about the other four: Irving, Brown, Hayward, and Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then they're just like, "Oh yeah, they have a center on that team too. I forgot." Like,
it's true.
Like, and it's so sad. I think he's going to have a decent season. He's going to get you 15 and 8, easy peasy.
Yeah.
And that any type of points will help. And if he ends up going more than 15 points a game, that's a plus, especially in his age. At this point,
I agree.
So let's move on. Oh wait, out of 10, 1 out of 10 is for the Boston Celtics.
10.
I'm in the same boat as you. 10. Now let's move on to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are an interesting team this year. They have a lot. They picked up a lot. They dropped a lot as well, and they just look. They look kind of stacked when it comes to their starting five. But then they have nobody else.
Well, see, the Nets are an interesting little experiment, because first of all, the Nets, like, for the past couple of years, I had no idea who anybody on the Nets was. And then so now you look at their starting five, Russell, Allen Crabbe, Carroll, Hollis Jefferson, and Allen. Yeah. I'm like, if you needed a team for like the Drew League or something like that, like, this is your squad right here.
Oh,
like.
Yeah. All those
Like
dudes are gonna ball out. That's it.
exactly. And then you have like Spencer Dinwiddie and Shabazz Napier, both like their point guard slot like roster is like stacked.
Yeah.
I'm like we'll get to it later with their signings, but I'm surprised to see Napier on this team. But yeah, that's what they look like. They look like an all summer league team that'll just win in that league. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I think they're easily a top 6 team in the East right now.
I think they're going to surprise people. I think they're going to compete this year.
I really do, and it's just really really crazy to me to think like all the shit that they've been through for the past like 10 years easy to go back, and they finally have a decent team that can grow together and compete because their whole lineup is young. They're very young. And D'Angelo Russell is probably the youngest player on this team at like 20, 22. Yeah. And then everybody else just kind of falls into place around 24, 25. DeMarre Carroll is going to be your best two-way player who's going to guard the best player on the other team.
Followed by Allen Crabbe.
Allen Crabbe can play defense. He's going to be your 3-and-D, easy. And then as long as D'Angelo Russell can distribute the ball to the rest of this team, I think they're gonna find a lot of success, especially in the pick and roll with the Jared Allen as well.
Yeah,
because he can pick and pop. He's shooting threes like nobody's business right now.
I agree.
And so I'm very very interested in how this team is going to look for the rest of the year, as long as the coach doesn't fuck shit up, you know.
Yeah, which they probably will, because I have no idea who their coach is.
Oh, wait, let's Google it. We got Google for this reason. Brooklyn Nets coach. Let's see. It is Kenny Atkinson. Huh. That's a good coach for them, I think.
Okay.
I think Atkinson was a point guard when he played, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he was. He's going to be... I think he's going to... If he can steer D'Angelo Russell to be more like a both distribution and scoring at the same time, almost like a Steph Curry type player, because that's how he looks to me. I think he can be very scary. But this is a year for him that he is going to make or break his career. Hands down. He needs to prove to everybody that he's a starting guard in this league.
Agreed. And stay off of Instagram this time.
Yeah, just avoid it. Go dark like LeBron James does, but for the whole season.
Yeah, I know.
But Brooklyn Nets, the notable signings for the Brooklyn Nets, we have Ed Davis, who came over as a free agent from the Trailblazers, if I'm not mistaken. And he was not a small forward. He was the power forward. He was number 4. You got Jared Dudley, Kenneth Faried, Shabazz Napier. I don't give a shit for the other 3. But Kenneth Faried, I don't know what happened to the Manimal, but the Manimal is no longer a Manimal anymore.
Which is unfortunate because I really liked his game in Denver and the way he played when he was at his best out there.
The crazy thing, this dude is only 26.
No way.
He's 28 years old. He's entering his prime. This is a make or break season for him at this point.
Yeah,
because he needs to prove that he can score and rebound. Does what he does best is rebound and get putbacks all day. This is a season for him to prove himself, definitely, especially falling out of favor with the Nuggets last year.
Yeah,
because of the rise of Nikola Jokic.
Yep, the Joker.
Yeah, and who started at the number 4 position on that team? I don't remember.
Paul Millsap.
Oh shit! I forgot they had Millsap.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I understand why he fell out of favor with the Nuggets.
Yeah. Paul Millsap's a way better player, but
hands down, he can score and defend. That's what you need. And then, as you said, Shabazz Napier is going to be an interesting signing for them. I think he's their at least second option for that team.
I agree.
And you can shove him into the shooting guard role because
easily that's what he is.
Yeah. So Spencer Dinwiddie is going to come out and play point guard because he can distribute like nobody's fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jared Dudley, who's going to be your veteran presence on that team.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. Jared Dudley is just your veteran presence. That's it. You don't need to even worry about him anymore at this point.
Agreed.
And then the notable outs for the Brooklyn Nets, we have Jahlil Okafor, as I mentioned before, Jeremy Lin, Darrell Arthur, but he got traded like immediately after he got traded from the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was there for literally the same situation that Carmelo Anthony was there for 10 seconds and then got traded from there. So
yep.
I think they're only notable because they're bigger names. They were famous at some point, and then they just kind of disappeared. So in Jeremy Lin's case, he just played alongside Harden in Houston and couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then Jahlil Okafor, he was a number 2 pick, right?
Number 2.
Number 2 pick, and I don't know what happened. The dude got played on the 76ers, had a solid season, got injured in his second season, and then just kind of disappeared. That's it. That's kind of sad. And then they re-signed Joe Harris, who I think is a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he should be starting over Allen Crabbe because he's just as good defensively. He might be even like a Kyle Korver type player, in my honest opinion. Watching him during the preseason though, it definitely showed why they ended up re-signing him because they definitely needed somebody who can shoot the 3. And so because if you really outside of Russell and Crabbe. Nobody else is really shooting the 3 that well.
Not on this team.
Not on this team. 1 out of 10 for the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to give them at least a 6.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
60%. They did it. They're a solid team. They're going to be definitely your a fun team to watch, especially if they have some solid games under their belts. But let's move on. We're going to go to the Charlotte Hornets. Now, Lance, you know all about the Spurs over there.
Yep.
What do you think of Tony Parker leaving that team?
He should have just retired.
Man, he's chasing one more, man. He's chasing one more. He's chasing his bread at this point.
He's chasing one more what?
I don't know, 6th man. I don't know. He's chasing one more award.
I guess. I don't know. He looks so weird in that jersey.
Oh my gosh. I totally agree with you.
It's just it's almost to the point of it being unsettling. He should have just retired so he can go on private jets with the other Spurs legends like you saw on Instagram with Manu Ginobili. Just do that. The Spurs would take if he was looking for a check. Just retire. The Spurs are taking care of those dudes for life. So I just don't understand.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Looking at the Charlotte Hornets lineup. It looks like it has a lot of promise. You have Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lamb, Nicholas Batum, Marvin Williams, and Cody Zeller because their biggest signing of the fucking summer is not even ready to play. He's injured. And that is Dwight Howard. What? They signed Dwight Howard, I think it was like a $10-15 million contract and the dude can't play.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, wait, no. He got traded right from them. Wait. Yeah, he got traded from the Nets. Traded to the Nets. And the Nets waived him, and then he signed with the Wizards.
Yes.
There you go. I'm sorry. I was looking at this for some reason really weird. I don't know. I'm just dumb. But anyways, and then we talked about the most important signing on that team is Tony Parker. And then Bismack Biyombo. They got traded from the Magics over to the Hornets. I think the Magic traded the wrong center. I think they should have gotten rid of Nikola Vucevic and start Mo Bamba in that lineup. But that's for when we get down there. But Biyombo is nothing. He didn't even have a good season with the Raptors. He had a flash with the Raptors, one game in the playoffs or something like that. He blocked LeBron once, and then they were just like, shit, this guy is worth $50 million. If he can move his feet fast enough, he's good with me. That's about it. And then you're just like, okay, whatever. But that's pretty much the Charlotte Hornets. We talked about them. They have an interesting ceiling. I think Kemba Walker, if they don't make the playoffs this year, he's leaving after this season. And same with Nicholas Batum. Nicholas Batum is on his contract year as well. And then Jeremy Lamb is going to be the starting shooting guard, and I think he has a pretty big ceiling. But beyond that, I think the Hornets are going to be your average 5 to 4. I'd give them 4 if they stay healthy. 4 to 7 seed. They should make the playoffs, but will they? That's the question.
They should, but they won't. But I don't think they're going to because it's the Hornets. I mean, look at the roster. Like you have like Frank Kaminsky is not even a starter. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is not a starter. Like Malik Monk also not a starter.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy Lamb is taking his spot. Jeremy Lamb, granted, he and Kemba Walker played together at UConn. They won that national title together.
Yeah.
But Lamb is not like a Kemba Walker. Walker's a starter on any team in this league, basically. But Lamb is not. Yet he has a starting role over Monk, who is like a top pick. So maybe they're saying something from Monk in practice that we're not, or something. But I think that's kind of weird. And then Frank Kaminsky losing his job to Williams. He was also their top pick. Gilchrist, another one. So they have some things going on over there.
Yeah, I agree. Unless they're blinding us and having just a bomb ass second unit. I don't know. I totally agree with you. I don't think, for some reason, I watched a little bit of Malik Monk this year, at least this summer, and for some reason I don't see it. I don't see what anybody else is seeing in him. I see him being like a scoring off the bench, but that's about it. That's all I see from him at this point.
Yeah.
And then as you said, Kidd-Gilchrist with that ugly ass jumper. I don't see him going anywhere else beyond being a 7th person off the bench.
Yeah.
And then Frank Kaminsky, he was supposed to be the savior of the team when he got drafted. He was supposed to be the next Dirk Nowitzki of the league.
Essentially, but. Yeah.
Yo, who's texting me? Oh, nobody's texting me. I should have turned that off, but that's beyond the point. I'm sorry. But the notable thing about the Charlotte Hornets that I love, they have a guy named Dwayne Bacon.
That's awesome.
That's it. That's all I care about. That's all I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch for Dwayne Bacon, and if
for
he's
Bacon highlights.
That's it. And he's gonna be like frying something in a pan. That's about it. Oh man, but yeah, that's the Charlotte Hornets in a nutshell. What do you think? What would you rank them in regards to all this? 1 out of 10.
5.
Damn. You'd rank the Brooklyn Nets over the Hornets.
They have more. To me, they have more promise than the Hornets. The Hornets have not shown any evidence that they're going to be anything other than the Hornets. Like as we said, they should be good. They should make the playoffs, but are they? Probably not.
You're right. I agree with you there. I would give them a 5.5.
Okay.
They're close enough that they can probably do something this year. Like when they before they signed Dwight Howard, the year before they signed Dwight Howard, they were the 6th seed in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
I think, yeah. So they have promise. They can easily capitalize on that promise, but they just have not put any good pieces around Kemba Walker.
Yep, that's correct. Man. I'm surprised he hasn't been traded, but apparently he likes being there. So
that's a first. Like
it is a first.
Like the only notable thing that they did do is bring Nicholas Batum in, and even then his career is going nowhere. But he was supposed to be like a savior or help the Trailblazers. He was great on the Trailblazers. I wonder what happened.
You know that needs to be like a 30 for 30. What happened to the Blazers? Because again, that's another deep dive we can get into later. But I mean, just that alone is just like him being on this team and not in Portland. And then you look at Portland's struggles. But we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. So we're moving on down to the Chicago Bulls. We have a starting 5 of Dunn, LaVine, Holiday, Portis, and Carter Jr. I actually don't think Holiday is supposed to be starting.
I agree.
I think he's covering for somebody that's injured, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Denzel Valentine.
Oh, wait. Is Valentine starting? I thought...
He's not. Holiday's starting in his spot.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wait, hold on a second. I did read that correctly. I think it's supposed to be Markkanen there.
I agree. I think Markkanen is their best player.
agree. It's the dude who they picked up for $20 million this year. Jabari Parker is supposed to be starting there. So the motherfucker's injured already. Shit. Shit, man. That's like nuts. Oh, they're starting strong, let me tell you.
Man, they are far away from the 90s, aren't they?
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Bulls.
Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant, Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, they're not walking through that door.
Oh, no. No, they are not. Let me tell you that much. But the starting five looks solid. They have the two players, the two guards who played together in with the Wolves when they were there together. So they got drafted and played together, which is like interesting. And then you got Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday is supposed to be the 3-and-D guy. In my honest opinion, he's just a 3 guy. He doesn't do much beyond shoot threes, and occasionally get a layup, and you'll be like, oh, he got a layup. Like,
yeah.
And then you got Bobby Portis, who's supposed to be their defensive stopper, who's going to try to guard everybody, but I think he's too big to be guarding everybody. Mm-hmm. And then you got their draft pick, Wendell Carter Jr., who is... I only saw a couple of minutes of him. I didn't see too much from him, though. Beyond that. He only has 2 out of the 5 games he played. He averaged about 21 minutes, and he scored 10 and 11 points. Those were his 2 biggest scoring games. And then he didn't even grab double-digit rebounds, which is kind of interesting for a guy that large.
Yep.
Wait, he's a power forward.
Yeah.
I thought he was a center.
Nope.
Huh. This team is going small then, huh?
Yep. Well, that's not the only thing this team is going.
Going downwards fast. I don't know.
That's correct. You know what? This is the Bulls are a bad team that's gonna look good playing sometimes. Like Zach LaVine is gonna put up some numbers. Markkanen will have some good games. LaVine will have some cool dunks every now and then. Like you'll get some highlight stuff from this team, but they're not gonna win a lot of games.
I do agree with you, unfortunately. Unless Jabari Parker has a breakout season where he can stay healthy, at least minimum play 65 games. And just hopefully his knees just hold up. That's like the main issue at this point. For everybody, because you signed the dude for $20 million, he should be in your starting lineup 100%.
Agreed.
But I don't know. This team, you're definitely right. I'm raking. Like I don't even care about who they let go. Like looking at the list, it's not the only person that was important was Jerian Grant.
Yep.
He wasn't even doing much. Like he was their 8th person off the bench, and that was it.
Yep.
And so, what would you rate? Rate the Bulls, because I'm gonna give them a 3.
Same.
Because they're
bad. They're gonna be a bad team.
Yeah. So we can move on. Talk about another bad team. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have in the starting lineup. We got George Hill.
That ain't gonna last long.
No, he's gonna easily be taken over. I think they should definitely be starting Sexton in that position.
I agree.
Then you got J.R. Smith, who's trying to just fight everybody because apparently he's just starting problems.
Well, like he's either going to do that or he's going to forget the score of the game.
Oh, yeah, easy peasy. He's just, I don't know. I think J.R. Smith is just like a walking zombie at this point. He's just getting paid and just he's getting paid and that's about it. That's all he cares about. He's like, I've been in this league for too long. Like,
yeah. You
can see it in his eyes. And then you got Rodney Hood, Kevin Love, and Tristan Thompson.
Kardashian.
Tristan Kardashian, who shouldn't even be in a...
No, it's a hyphen, like Tristan Thompson Kardashian.
Oh, shit. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought they were just calling him Kardashian the whole time. Who shouldn't even be in a starting lineup. This team
That's true.
So
Nance should be starting. This team is interesting. You're right. But here's the funny thing about it. This team is going to make the playoffs.
Oh, 100%.
They're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to be like a 5 seed in the playoffs in the East because the East is so bad. So and I think the other factor in this that I think people aren't going to really think about and some people don't want to hear. I think they're better off with LeBron not being on the team as far as like a team functionality standpoint. Like they're not gonna get as far, but I think it's gonna be more of a team as far as like teams are concerned. Kevin Love will be the focal point. It'll be kind of like Minnesota, but now he has better talent around him. 100%. Like with Sexton, J.R. Smith, if all he has to do is shoot, and they're not going to be in a high pressure situation where he gets the score, he's fine. Rodney will be fine. Larry Nance Jr. is fine.
Clarkson,
and Clarkson is good. Sam Decker is good. Korver still has some legs left, so this is going to be a playoff team that probably makes the second round.
I would have to agree with you 100%. Their payroll is too dang large. That is my main issue. How is Tristan Thompson Kardashian getting 17 mil? You got J.R. Smith making 14 mil.
LeBron got those deals, remember, because of LMR.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I just wish they traded Thompson during that whole process. If they did, I think that team would have been better off. They would have easily been able to acquire more talent with that money that they're giving him. And also my other issue is that George Hill is making $19 million a year. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it blows me away. It definitely blows me away. But I do agree with all the points that you've made. I think Sexton should be in the starting lineup. That's the only difference I would really make.
Absolutely.
And then, and Larry Nance Jr. should also be starting.
Yeah.
As well. But it's so crazy because you got to think into account also is Cedi Osman. He had a really good preseason this year.
He did.
He shot, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he shot 40% from 3 this year and was averaging about 5 assists.
Okay.
So he's a small forward. I think he's going to slowly develop. I think because he was playing behind LeBron, so obviously he's going to develop some of his tendencies.
Yes.
So hopefully he does become that player that they're hoping him to be. And you got to also take into account this team is young, but besides Korver,
I agree.
37 years old.
Yeah.
So this team is solidly young. You got Kevin Love for another year after this, if I'm not mistaken, a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have Kevin Love. You're going to be a high seed, but you're also going to be able to get at least some decent draft picks. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So this team is going to be a surprise team. I definitely think if they don't get knocked out in the second round and make it to the semifinals, that'd be a surprise to everybody.
Yeah.
That would blow everybody away. And we already, there's no even point in talking about who they brought in. It's the people they let go, which is very interesting. You had obviously LeBron James right at the top, and then you got Jose Calderon and Jeff Green. Jeff Green is interesting because he was a solid player, and he can get you the 15 points that you need, but he would always just disappear.
Yeah.
He'd just disappear and be like, hey, Jeff, we need you to get 15 points, and he'll give you 5, and you'd be like, what the?
Yeah.
And then one day, you're going to play against somebody and be like, Jeff, we need you to just get 10 points. We just need you to pop in 10 points. And he'll get you 35.
Yeah.
It'd be like, Jeff, we didn't need this from you today. What about yesterday? And he's just like, oh, I was just tired. I don't know. But, so Jeff Green is there. And then the crazy thing is, Jose Calderon.
That's my guy, man.
That Cleveland Cavaliers team was better with him in the starting lineup.
I agree with you.
Go ahead.
I love Jose Calderon. I played pickup against him once. He was low key, he was at the rec center at U of H, in the summer, just because a lot of NBA, he was just chilling. Because it's funny, I don't know why he was in Houston, but he was here just hooping at the rec, and let me tell you, he smoked us. He was so good. And then after the game, I was because I had a feeling, I was like, so do you play? And he's like, yeah, I play, here and there. And he just kind of had a little wink in his wink on his face. I was like, all right, guy. I was like, I got you. I'm not gonna say anything to the other people, but he was just killing us. And it just kind of shows you how good NBA players are. Jose Calderon is not going to be in the Hall of Fame at all. He's never made an All-Star team. But he was cooking us. It was we couldn't touch him. We just couldn't do it. Like, and that just kind of shows you how good NBA players are.
Yeah, I don't know. He's always been he has great court vision. He can distribute the ball very evenly without making other players be like, "Whoa, what's going on? Why I ain't get the ball?" You know. And that's what the team needed. That's what the Cavs needed, and they just after they picked up George Hill and Jordan Clarkson, they were just like, "Oh, you're going to be like the fourth string point guard." Yeah. Just like, why? He's literally undefeated when he's in the starting lineup.
I agree.
So that's that. What do you think of the Cavs? What out of 10, 1 to 10? What do you rank in the Cavs?
7.
I agree. 7, 6.5, 7 for me. I think they're definitely going to be the surprise team of the East.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to definitely show that they don't need LeBron to be there, although they wish he was there.
I mean, they need him if they want to win a championship, but to be like not like, you know, a lapping stock, they don't need him.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And then we go into one of Lance's teams in the state of Texas. We have the Dallas Mavericks. To me, the Dallas Mavericks are a very, very good team this year. With the development of some of their players, you have Dennis Smith Jr., as long as he can take the next step this year, I think he's going to make an all-star team. Because I think he has shown what he can be, like throughout all of the season last year, and I think from what I've seen of him in the preseason, he's definitely taken that step forward. He has his dribbles, he has that faster step, but that's beyond the point. We'll talk about that more in depth in a sec. Then you have Luka Doncic in your shooting guard position, who's too damn big to be in the shooting guard position, but whatever. And then
he's your rookie of the year.
I agree. He has shown, whew, god damn, he's definitely going to take that. His game looks like a mini LeBron to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
He can pass, he can score, he can defend. Although his defense needs a little bit of work, but he's coming into a tougher league from where he was. Then you got in your shooting small forward position, you got Wesley Matthews, Harrison Barnes at your power forward, and DeAndre Jordan at your center position. This team is very interesting. I think they're going to be a very, very good surprise and an actual turnaround for the Dallas Mavericks, and hopefully project them forward at this point.
I agree with that.
Like, that starting lineup is really, really interesting.
It is. You know, and it's funny. Like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be terrible.
No, I think they're going to compete for at least a 7th seed. That's what I'm thinking.
I think they're going to compete. I think the West is going to end up like it did last year, where there's like outside of the first couple of seeds, like there's going to be a lot of similar records, and I think the Mavericks will lose like on a tiebreaker situation. But I think they're going to be like as far as their win-loss column, they're going to be above 500.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But like, it's so crazy to me because if you look at the rest of their lineup, they got nobody.
I agree. Yeah, that's the funny thing.
That's the funny thing. They have Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother, Kostas. Uh-huh. He has shown some interesting ability.
Some flashes.
I think he can be a really good power forward for this team. Harrison Barnes definitely needs to show something this year. He had a hell of a high usage rate last year, and I don't think I think he's a very mediocre small forward. I don't think he's worth the money that they signed him for.
I agree.
And then you got Harrison Barnes definitely needs to show something. Wesley Matthews needs to show something this year. The dude is making $18 million, and
whatever happened to the Blazers?
Yeah, and he's supposed to be their 3-and-D guy, and I don't know, he hasn't shown any sign of defense to me.
That's correct.
Like, it disappeared. Like, his knee went, and then he's just like, the rest of my game is gone too. Like, and then DeAndre Jordan. I don't know. I think if he's just happy to be back home. Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. If they got him 3 years ago when he was 27 years old, I think that would have been a more important time.
I agree.
Just don't really see him doing much besides bringing Lob City to the Mavericks. That's about it.
That's it.
That's all I see for this team. They also drafted a guy named Ray Spalding, by the way.
Excellent name.
Hopefully he balls out, literally. Like, Like, do you think he'll distribute the balls at practice and be like, "That's me on this ball"?
I doubt it.
But I don't know. I watched these guys during the summer league. I mean, I'm saying that because it was the summer, but it's preseason, and they're going to be, I think, very interesting to watch. I think they're going to have a solid season, and then I just think Nowitzki should have retired 3 years ago.
Same.
Like he's just trying to stay alone. I just want to win. I just want to taste one more. But you're on the wrong damn team to do that, especially with how stacked the West is. But notable outs for the Dallas Mavericks. My honest opinion, Nerlens Noel finally got out of that contract. Mm-hmm. Doug McDermott has left as well, along with Yogi Ferrell and Seth Curry.
Yep.
I think letting those two go, Yogi and Seth, is a interesting move because I'm guessing they were making room for Dennis Smith.
Yeah, that's basically what that was.
Because they're going to keep JJ Barea. I don't know why they should have let that man go.
Because he won a championship there. He's a Maverick lifer. So
at this point, yeah, that's about it though. That nothing really interesting besides the re-signing of Salah Medri, and that's it. I don't even really care too much beyond that, beyond everything else.
Same.
So, what do you rate the Dallas Mavericks in a stacked West of 1 to 10?
About a 6.5.
I agree with you there. 6.5. I was actually going to give them like a 6, a 5.5, but they have too much upside for me to even go that low.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to be I think they're going to be a nice team to watch this year, and the whole Dallas area is just going to be surprised by what they can do.
I agree with that.
And then we move on to another West team. We got the Denver Nuggets.
They're cracking through this year.
I agree. I think they've shown as a whole squad they're ready to take that next step and push for a solid 4-5 ranking in the West.
Yeah.
But it's the Nuggets, and as you know, they're not the greatest organization.
Yep.
But the starting lineup, you got Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Will Barton, Paul Millsap, and Nikolai Jokic. I don't actually think that is the real lineup for them.
Oh, really?
I don't see Will Barton ever being a starter in this league. I think his position is going to go over to Michael Porter Jr.
Okay.
I don't think Gary Harris is a starter. I think Gary Harris is more of a sixth man. And I think they're going to eventually insert Isaiah Thomas into that starting lineup.
Interesting. Well, it's funny you bring up Porter Jr. Is he healthy?
Oh, let me click on his name. Let's find out. Let's see. That is a very good question to tell you.
He had issues like on draft night. Like that's why he fell so much.
You're right.
He's basically like a bigger Kyrie. Because Kyrie didn't play much in college either. And this guy played 14 games?
Yeah. Kyrie only played 3.
Yeah.
That blows me away. Apparently he's day-to-day.
Okay. Well, that can mean anything.
Yeah. So if he's not starting, I think this team, they already have the cohesiveness. They played together for this whole team has played together for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be very, very interesting to watch. I don't think Will Barton should be even in the starting lineup. I think that should be.
He's gonna be though.
You really think so? I think they should put Trey Lyles in the lineup. Trey Lyles has shown flashes of brilliance. He could be the 3-and-D guy that they need.
Okay.
Will Barton gets blown by every freaking game you watch.
Yeah.
Like I watched Will Barton highlights. I'm just like, he can dunk, and he can shoot, he can score, but when it comes to defense, he's slow. He has a very slow step and he gets crossed over very easily, a lot. He just kind of disappears to me, and he also disappears in the season. That's like my main issue with him. That's why I wouldn't want him in the starting lineup anytime soon. But yeah, this team is kind of stacked because you got Paul Millsap, 33 years old. I think he's the oldest player on this team, and then you have you're the multi-tool of a center in Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
I think he's definitely going to be picked as an all-star this year as long as he can stay healthy.
I agree.
He's a shoe-in for All-Star, especially at the center position, because they pick him by position now, don't they?
Yeah.
So he's a shoe-in there, and they just re-signed him to I think it was a 4 or 5 year extension, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he's gonna be fucking good as shit this year. So that's gonna be interesting. I think this team is very interesting. And as I said, the only main pickup they did get is Isaiah Thomas. So
yeah,
this team is going to be solid. I think I would give him a 7 right now, based on everything that I see and that I know of them.
I agree with that.
So the Denver Nuggets, and then we have one of my least favorite teams to watch is the Detroit Pistons. I don't know why. I just can't get into their color scheme, and that color scheme hurts my eyeballs.
Fair.
But like looking at their ins, the players who they signed is there's Jose Calderon, Zaza Pachulia, Glenn Robinson the third, Kyrie Thomas. I didn't even know they drafted that late. I thought they had given up all their draft picks.
Huh.
Kyrie Thomas, who was picked 38. And then you have Bruce Brown, who got pick number 42. So they didn't even have a high draft pick this year because they blew their whole load getting, what's his name? Reggie Jackson a couple years ago. And Blake Griffin. But I don't know. I don't see this team going very far for some reason.
I don't either.
Because this starting lineup just looks like they were just like these players were one-time stars on other teams or coming up players on other teams, and they just haven't proven anything to me since last year. You got Reggie Jackson, Reggie Bullock, Stanley Johnson, Blake Griffin, and Andre Drummond as your starting 5.
Yeah, this team is kind of like a whatever team for me. Like, whatever.
Yeah, you're just like the Detroit Pistons to me are an everything bagel. They have all the pieces that you would want, but a lot of these pieces have underperformed or they're just injured. Like, that's about it. You can't really say anything beyond that. Like, I have nothing else to say about the Pistons. Do you?
No.
What would you rate the Pistons?
Like a 3.
I just find them to be boring. So I would give them a 4.5. They'll surprise me every once in a while, but other than that, I don't see them going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
So next we got the league champions, the defending champions, the Golden State Warrior All-Stars, because that's what this team is. Oh my gosh. Looking at this, the starting 5 just kind of gives you like, holy shit, how did they get this far? Like, because if you really think about it, like, the signing of Kevin Durant, if the Thunder were owned by the NBA at that point, they would have avoided that trade, just like what they did with the Hornets when they tried to trade Chris Paul.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't a trade. He was a free agent, so he could have done whatever he wanted. He chose to do it.
That's true.
So that's the other thing that people like who get open arms about it, like, forget about. They also forget about other things too, but that's another. Again, that's another deep dive we can get into later. But yeah, it's looking at this team. I mean, like, it is what it is. Yeah. Some interesting things though, like about it, like, you know, they like looking at the starting 5, like they're listing Cousins, but Cousins is not going to be healthy or ready at the start of the season. No. So I think what they're going to do is I think they'll probably start Looney.
Yep.
Because they had success with him in the playoffs. So they'll probably start Looney, and then they'll platoon Jordan Bell with that. They really want Damian Jones to do stuff, but I'm not sure about him.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, this team, McKinney will never play.
That's an understatement.
He'll probably be their two-way player if they designate one. But yeah, he's not going to play. Derrickson's never going to play. I don't think Damian Lee is going to play either, and I don't think Jake, the rookie they signed, Evans, is going to play either.
No,
I mean, being realistic.
Yeah, and you got to think about it too. Their second unit is fucking stacked.
Yes.
Holy shit! You got Quinn Cook coming off the bench, along with Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, Jordan Bell, and who else? Who's going to be their number? They're going to probably insert one of their starting five into that lineup just to make sure they have somebody out there.
Yeah, either that, or if they wanted to have Damian Jones there, or that's fine. Or they can go smaller and they'd have Jerebko there, and Jordan Bell at the 5. Either way, that's all. I mean, that starting 5 right there would beat the Bulls.
You're 100% correct there. I do agree with you there. But with everything, if Cousins come back like a third of the man that he is, and he can just protect the basket and occasionally score on this team, when he comes back, more than likely in January, this team is repeating to me. They're a 10.
They're not a 10, man.
You don't think so?
No, they're a 12.
Oh shit, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I forgot we could go beyond 10 at this point. Because everybody else has been, like 7 and lower?
Yeah, the Celtics are a 10.
Yeah, you're right.
The Warriors are a 12.
Oh, man. And then we go to Lance's favorite team.
My squad.
We have the Houston Rockets.
Yes, sir.
This team is very interesting to me. Just because most of their preseason games were against foreign teams.
Yeah, I know.
They were just flexing at this point. They were They were just like, we signed who we needed to sign. That's about it. And then the one game they lost, none of their starters played.
Yep.
So I don't know. This team is also stacked. This team can I honestly believe if they can catch the Warriors on a bad night, they're gonna definitely, or even a bad series, they're definitely gonna beat the Warriors. They just have to stay healthy at this point.
Well, see, that's the thing. Is speaking as somebody that knows this team as well as I do, the Chris Paul thing last year, I called it. I was like, I called it when we signed him.
I do remember that too.
Because Chris Paul, what he does is get injured at the worst possible time. And the funny thing is, he didn't get injured like for all season. I was like, oh, cool. And then like he kind of had like a weird thing, like like in March, like he had like a weird hamstring thing, like in March. But then he came back. I was like, oh, great. He got his injury out of the way. We're great. We're good.
It came early.
Bro. We go up 3-2, and that's when he decides to get injured. It's just like. So that's just that's things that you also have to plan for, and I don't that's part of his history. Unfortunately, as great of a player as he is, that's part of his history.
He will unfortunately always be remembered for that.
I know.
That's a sad part. Yeah.
Sadly, so we're going back to the Western Conference Finals.
I agree.
Looking at the roster, I don't know why they have Ennis as the starting 3. We all know that the starting 3 will either be Gerald Green or Carmelo Anthony, depending on if they convince Anthony to come off the bench or not. Like, come on now, let's be real.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Do you think Carmelo Anthony should come off the bench?
Yes.
All right, just at this point in his career, at this point.
Yes.
I agree with you. I don't know what because I was watching Stephen A. Smith over the past couple of days. And all he is talking about, he's just like, Carmelo Anthony is a bona fide mega superstar. He's gonna, and I'm just like, that was 5 years ago, friend.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, he's earned his Hall of Fame status because he will go to the Hall of Fame. He has not earned being a starter though anymore. That ship has sailed. You got to be realistic. Like you can't. It's like looking at for instance, like in college football, when they look at the schools that used to be powerhouses, and then they're surprised that they're not. No, Florida sucks now. That it just is what it is. So, I mean, and that's just one example. So,
no, I totally agree with you. I think getting rid of Trevor Ariza was a good move.
I
for
think
them.
bad move,
You think it's a
but
bad move?
I think we're worse defensively.
Interesting. I don't see that for some reason, because even if let's say Ennis doesn't start nor Carmelo Anthony, and say you don't even want to start Gerald Green at the 3, I think you can start Marquise Chris at the 3, and because Marquise Chris is not too big and lumbering, or you can move what's his
Carter
face?
Williams.
Oh, Carter Williams could even play the 3. He'll just
But
kind
he's
of
also
get bullied.
but he's also off injured. I mean, that's
Oh,
the
that's
thing.
very true.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, because the reason why I say that I think we're lacking defensively is because you look at this, you look at our lineup, and you look at the Warriors, right, who are right next to them. So when we get to the Western Conference Finals, who's guarding KD?
You're right. Nobody's guarding KD at this point. Man, it's too
Like,
bad. He's definitely hitting a stride at this point.
who's got like it's not Gerald Green because he's not that good of a defensive player anyway. It's not Carmelo Anthony because we know he can't play defense. As PJ Tucker can, but like he'll eventually wear down because KD's too quick for him.
Yeah.
And then by also that logic, like who's guarding Klay Thompson? Like it's not James because it's not James Harden. The only person who actively will defend their position will be Chris Paul. But then again, like he gets beat every now and then by he'll get beat every now and then by Steph. So I mean, because he's a meme forever because Steph made him look like he's playing Twister that one time. So like. I mean, because that matchup is always fun to watch because those two like going against each other, like Paul and Steph. But like looking at everybody else, like who's guarding Klay Thompson? I don't know. Maybe Eric Gordon, but yeah. So like I don't know who's guarding Kevin Durant. I don't know. PJ Tucker on Draymond Green. That's a wash. And then if Cousins is there, if it's the playoff time. Cousins, as much as I love Clint Capella, Cousins, like Capella can't handle Cousins in all that he does. Like maybe if he goes down to the post, but Cousins can go inside out. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm just being real because, like, I mean, I love this team, but I also have to be real with this. Like we'll have a shot. We'll definitely have a puncher's chance, just like we did last year. But
as long as this team stays healthy, I just see a competitive series. That's all I'm looking for.
It'll definitely go 7 again. It'll definitely go 7 again. I'd love to see what we look like with Chris Paul in the Game 7.
Oh man, no, I totally agree with you because I don't think we've ever seen Chris Paul in a Game 7, have we? When he was on the Clippers, he had one series that one game, they lost it, right?
No, they beat the Spurs that one time.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then they lost a 3-1 lead to us without James Harden.
Yeah, that is crazy. And then you guys got rid of a notable out for you guys is Luka Ma'amute.
Yep.
I think he was probably going to be your best defender, probably guarding Durant.
Yeah, I know.
And you guys let him go. You let him walk.
Again, we're worse defensively as of right now.
Unless you guys going to start Zhao Qi.
Nah, he's still a project.
I don't know. He showed some flashes of what he can potentially be in the preseason. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't even start, actually. He didn't even play.
He did. No, he's still a project.
Yeah, he's a project. He's 22 years old. He can 7'1". Holy shit.
Yep.
That's your next Yao Ming.
Yep.
So I understand why you call him project. What do you rank in your Houston Rockets?
We're 10.
I'm giving you guys a 9. Just because of your defensive deficiencies, I have no idea where you're going to go from there.
All right, fair.
And then next, we're moving on to the Indiana Pacers. We have a couple. I don't know. This team is definitely a sleeper team here. They showed brilliance, especially with the way Victor Oladipo played last year. I think he's gonna. He broke out last year. If he can keep his momentum going, he's gonna be scary. That dude is gonna be scary as shit. Oh my god. But my main issue with this team is I don't like Darren Collison in a lineup as a starter ever.
I agree.
He started at the Kings and he did nothing from that point on. Like, oh man. So you got Darren Collison, Victor Oladipo, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Thaddeus Young, and Miles Turner. That's a low key scary lineup.
It is. It is. I think Corey Joseph should be the starting point.
I agree. He is. I think he's earned it at this point.
I agree.
Because I don't know. He's definitely, to me, is a better player than Darren Collison.
Yep.
And then your noticeable ends to me is Tyreek Evans, Doug McDermott, and that's about it. And Kylo Quinn, but Kylo Quinn is going to be coming off the bench no matter what team he's on, so it don't even matter.
It's true.
But yeah, I think this team can definitely be a solid team in the East, and they're going to be competing for 3 to 6 for their seedings.
That's fair.
I don't think they're going to be top 2. You got two strong teams at the top, and then they're going to be somewhere down below. I think their second unit is also very scary. If you really think about it, if Tyreek Evans can show up and ball out, you have a good sixth man. You have Corey Joseph playing your point. You got Doug McDermott playing your 3 and D off the bench. You have who else? Sabonis, and my surprise player of this team is T.J. Leaf.
Okay.
T.J. Leaf has shown some. I don't know. Last year he played a little bit, but this year he's shown some promise to me. He's shooting like 60%.
Wow.
13 points and 12 rebounds and against the Rockets on Thursday. But you got, as I said, that's the team that's the game y'all didn't start nobody.
Yep.
And then he with a 5-point loss to the Grizzlies and 9 points and five rebounds in 20 minutes. And then against the Cavs, he not outplayed Love, but he was outplaying Love for the time he was in, from what I've watched.
Okay.
So I think he's going to be a surprise on this team. He's definitely not going to be a starter, don't get me wrong. Especially with watching him play with Lonzo Ball at UCLA. That was an interesting situation because he can definitely pick and roll, but when it comes to pick and popping, he can't do.
I agree with that.
So that's pretty much the Pacers to me. They're going to be a scary. I think as long as they all stay healthy and Victor Oladipo keeps going upwards in his ability, I think this is going to be a scary team in the East. And I say 2 years.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to contend for a championship at this point, but
not this year.
2 years. 2 years, I think. Especially with Thaddeus Young, who's going to be your defensive stopper, and then Miles Turner. And that's saying something if Thaddeus Young is your defensive stopper.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this team is going to be so interesting. I'm going to love to watch them just because I like watching Oladipo play. That's about it. That's about it for me. What about you?
Cool.
You got anything to say?
No, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with these guys. They're not ready yet, but they will be.
Yeah, they're knocking. I can definitely see that. What do you rank them out of 10?
7.5, 8.
I'll give them a 7.5, just to not give them too high of an expectation, even though our expectations don't really matter. But next we got the LA Clippers, the now defunct LA Clippers. To me, I don't think they have anything worth noting on this team. They just picked up a lot of the garbage pieces that nobody wanted.
Looking at this depth chart, I mean, outside of Lou Williams, who's only coming off the bench just because that's what he's done. He's their best player, obviously.
Yeah.
Looking at this roster, who's going to score? How are they going to score?
That's definitely true because if you're gonna bank on Gallinari and Tobias Harris scoring, then
it's not happening.
You're not gonna be very happy with this team.
It's not, and I love Patrick Beverley. I wish he was still in Houston, but it just is what it is with this team. This team is the Western Conference Detroit Pistons now.
I agree. I wouldn't, for some reason, I wouldn't be surprised if they grinded their way to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see them doing anything beyond that because Patrick Beverley is gonna say they magically made it to the finals, or the conference finals, magically somehow they scrapped their way to that far into the thing. They're not getting past the Warriors.
No,
I don't even think this team is gonna make a playoff push at all.
I agree with you.
So and they gutted that whole team. I don't know what Doc Rivers is doing. I think Doc Rivers should never be the a coach and the decision maker for this roster.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of handicapped them a little bit.
Yeah.
And to tell you the honest truth, I don't even think Doc Rivers is a solid coach.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I think what he did with the Celtics and was able to integrate all those guys that they brought in when he was there. He was a good coach then, but he inherited a great team. So that's just my honest opinion about them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I give them a 3.5.
Okay, that's about where I was going.
L.A. Clippers. He even traded his own son. I can't believe that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Everybody was giving him shit though, so I understand.
Yep.
And then we head to the halfway point of our list, and we got the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this team is kind of stacked.
Kinda. That's the fun part about this. It's kind of stacked.
Yeah.
Like, they look good in the preseason, but again, it's preseason.
It's preseason.
And just looking at the roster, like, I mean, it's just so, like, there's just so many characters. It's gonna be an interesting team just because of the personalities and stuff, but also because of what we know about certain individuals on this team also dictates how the season goes.
Yep, I will 100% agree with you. The Lakers starting five, you got, for some reason it's saying Lonzo Ball. I don't even think he's going to be ready for the season.
He's not.
Then you got Josh Hart, LeBron James, Brandon Ingram, and JaVale McGee. I think it's kind of sad when you got JaVale McGee being your starting five.
Yeah.
He's definitely an energy guy off the bench.
I agree.
I don't like the fact
the Warriors used him perfectly.
Yeah. They had him played behind Zaza Pachulia, which is not saying much. But beyond that, I like Josh Hart. I don't think he's going to be in the starting lineup. I think Caldwell Pope is definitely going to be taking that position.
Yep.
But Josh Hart should definitely be mentioned in the same breath as Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma.
Yes.
That team is going to be scary when they all develop and hit their stride and actually all hit their prime together. That's going to be a scary team. But that's 4 or 5 years away, so that's not even the point. But as you said, this team is going to depend on the temperament of everybody. It's going to...
Yes.
Like, LeBron James, hands down, is going to be the best player on this team. Brandon Ingram is a close second. But...
Yeah. But the unfortunate thing here is that, like, LeBron's presence, I think, I think we're going to see what happened in Cleveland at some point in this season. And I think we're also going to see things that happen, like, in Miami toward the end. Like... And with the young players, his being there might hurt their development. And the person whose development I think is going to get hurt the most is Kuzma's.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Like, I understand why bringing LeBron James into the Lakers. That's your big name, your big ticket. You're gonna put LA back on the map in that regard.
Yep.
But was it worth it? Was it worth the payoff? Is he going to win you a championship in a stacked West?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And with the young pieces that they've gotten, they're going to take a step forward and a step back in their development, because playing with LeBron will help them because there's lots he can teach them. But like, as far as like on-court performance and everything, him being there changes everything dramatically because he likes having the ball in his hand all of the time. So what's that going to do for your point guards? Number one. And then it turns everybody else into basically like a spot-up shooter. Is that Kuzma's strength? Is that Ingram's strength? No.
Both of them are great cutters. They both are very good with the ball. I just think if LeBron James, from what I've seen in the preseason with him, is that he definitely distributed a lot. Like, the ball moved a lot nicer compared to the previous seasons. I know LeBron's going to get you your 20, 25 easy, but if he can keep the same, if they're going to play up tempo, I don't think he can't have the ball in his hands anymore.
I agree.
He definitely has to pass it to Lonzo, because I know Lonzo loves to push the pace. So LeBron
Yes.
James is definitely going to have to run the court. He's going to be tired because unfortunately he's old. He's 33 years old. He
He
can't.
is, and I know, and they made excuses for him, like, about all of that last year, especially on the defensive end. I've never seen, like, we kill people for, like, online, especially for people like who don't play defense for some
Yeah.
reason, right? But then, like, LeBron, it becomes a national point of contention about, like, how, oh well, he's saving himself on the defensive end because he has to do so much on offense. It's like, no, like, you can't have it both ways. If you're gonna kill James Harden for getting blown by, then you got to do the same thing for LeBron when he's literally standing and not doing anything.
I totally
Like,
agree. I
come on.
definitely agree with you. And then as we were talking about like some of these rare individuals, I'll call them, they picked up Michael Beasley, JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, and Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson is an interesting one because you guys, as you know, LeBron and Lance has the history when Lance was on the Pacers. But apparently Lance did an interview and he says, "When LeBron call, you play. That's it."
Yep.
And I was just like, "Shit, all right, shit. LeBron called me, I'll play too."
Yep.
Like I'll stand there and be a spot up shooter. I don't need to do anything.
Yep.
But like LeBron gave that squad a nickname, and they call him Mud. Misunderstood deviants, I believe, is what he called them or nicknamed them as a squad, and I agree with that. I think it's so interesting because, as I said, Rajon Rondo and Lance Stevenson had some epic battles with LeBron James in the East, and they still signed with him. That's crazy. That is crazy to me. But I think this team is going to be very interesting to watch. I don't think they're going to compete for a championship in this first season.
No.
They're definitely going to. I think they're definitely going to take the next step this year. I just don't see them competing or going up against the Warriors like anytime soon, though. Not until Curry and Durant retire and all these young players have finally hit their prime and start showing that what they can do like 4 years from now. And LeBron is going to be riding. LeBron's still going to be starting at 37 years old.
Yep.
Because he's just some type of freak. Like, I don't know. But it's going to come down for defense with this team. Ultimately.
Yeah.
If they can play defense, if they can stay disciplined, they will be a surprise contender next year. Next year and next 2 years.
I agree.
So that's the Lakers. What are you giving them grade wise?
7.5.
I was gonna give them an 8.
Okay.
Just because LeBron's on that team. LeBron gets 5 points.
Okay, that's fair. Let's roll with that then.
Yeah, and then we have the I don't know what they're doing, Memphis Grizzlies.
Woo.
Oh my God, this team right here. I have no idea what they're doing.
And it's such a shame, like, because I love the grit grind Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh yeah,
I love that squad. I love the way they played. But those days are long gone.
Oh my God, don't even get me started, boy. Like, they're starting 5. You got Mike Conley, Garrett Temple, Kyle Anderson, Jeff Green. Is it Jeff Green? I think it's JaMychal Green. No, it's JaMychal Green. He's only 28. And then you have Marc Gasol. I have no idea what they're doing here. Like,
yeah, I don't either.
That lineup doesn't scream anything to me. The only two that's going to really make an impact is obviously Conley and Gasol.
Yeah, and one of them's going to get hurt.
Oh, hands down. Somebody going to break their foot. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the one that jinxes them. But one of them is going to get hurt 100%. And then you have what's his name? Chandler Parsons coming off the bench.
Man, keep getting them checks, Chandler. Like, I ain't mad at you.
Me neither, man. If I had like a half a good season as Chandler Parsons and somebody signed me to $24 million a year, I would gladly take it.
Yep.
Like, that is ridiculous to me that he is making that much money.
I agree.
But he has shown he's played better this preseason. But obviously, at the end of the day, it is preseason, and I don't know. I can't be mad at him. He's making his bread. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
He had that one good season with the Rockets. Left.
Yep.
And then he got what? Those microfractures in his knee. That's what really hurt him, ultimately. But like, who else is going to step up on this team? You got you have Shelvin Mack and Omri Caspi, and that's it.
Yeah, it's not happening for this team.
No. I think they're a low tier at the best. I'd be surprised if they made 7 or 8 seed, just because I like Kyle Anderson.
Okay.
Like, I love that slow-mo version of his game. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Watching this guy go, it's like watching molasses dry. I don't even think molasses dries that well.
No, it doesn't.
Like, I don't see this team doing anything this year. They don't have any notable draft picks besides Jaren Jackson. And even then, Jaren Jackson is not going to be ready for another 2 years.
Agreed. Yeah, this is a bad team.
That's an understatement. Like, I don't mind Jackson Jr. I think he's going to be a hell of a player. He came from Michigan, and the Michigan is a defensive team, and that's probably almost 100% why the Grizzlies drafted him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What would you rank the Memphis Grizzlies this year?
3.
3? Damn. I was gonna give them a 6, just because it's grit and grind, and you can't really. That's like the only one we've disagreed at this point.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Nah, because I think Mike Conley will get hurt, or Gasol will get hurt, because that's what they do. And then outside of that, they don't have anything.
That's very true. I give them a 6 just because of that. Just because of their ability to grind it out and get those W's.
Okay.
So let's move on. We got the Miami Heat, who have made no moves this summer.
Yep.
I think this team is going to be a freaking solid sleeper team.
I agree.
Their starting lineup, Goran Dragic. I don't think Dwayne Wade is starting for some. He's just too old. Unless he's going to start and play like 10 minutes, and then they're going to put him on a bench and then have him sporadically show up in the match.
Possibly what will happen.
Then they got Josh Richardson, James Johnson. I don't know why I said Jack.
And then, that's a box.
that's also a singer.
Sure.
And then you got Hassan Whiteside, who ultimately, I believe, has gotten worse over the summer. So, looking at this roster, they are very, very, very interesting to look at roster-wise. They have a lot of nice pieces, and I think the only reason why Dwayne Wade is starting is because Dion Waiters is not ready to go.
Yeah,
that's
it's also his last season. So
yeah, he's definitely retiring after this. He has to.
He said as much.
Oh, I didn't read anything about that. That's just me being silly though, because I haven't really read much beyond that. But it's interesting to me because even if you don't start, for some reason I thought Justice Winslow was going to be like a shoo-in for the starting position for this team.
People have thought that for the past couple of years.
You're right. You're 100% right there. I can definitely see why. But I really can't see anything wrong with this team besides they didn't make any moves. They didn't do anything to make them better, and I think they're going to be in the same spot they were last year.
I agree.
Because Dragic is going to have a solid season. He always does.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he does some magic this year, I don't think he's ever going to make an all-star team again. But they need to he needs to be more aggressive. If he's more aggressive, they win games. That's like 100% guarantee at this point, in my honest opinion. Because he's a hell of a point guard.
I agree with that.
Then you got Justin Winslow should be a starter. I don't know. Even if you start him at shooting guard, because Josh Richardson is going to be. I think he's going to be something else in this league for some reason. He's had a solid summer so far. 24 points against the Hawks, which is not saying much, and you got 25 points against the Pelicans on a 56% shooting, which is not bad.
Okay.
But he just kind of disappeared against the Magic. How do you get 5 points against the Magic?
By not being good.
But this team has a solid second unit as well. You got Wayne Ellington. You got Tyler Johnson. Kelly Olynyk. But the main issue for me on this team is Hassan Whiteside. Man, don't learn.
Yeah.
Like, he can shoot the three, but he doesn't know when to step out and protect the three.
I agree.
Especially at the center position. And he gets burnt by every single guard in this league. Holy shit.
When he gets switched, yeah.
Yeah, every single guard burns him, and he's making $25 million a year. God damn. I think Bam Adebayo is their starter, their eventual starter in this team.
Okay.
But that's all I can really say about the Heat. Because they didn't shit.
They're a playoff team. I mean, they're gonna make the playoffs. Solid team. They'll give somebody hell in the first round.
That's about it. About it. They're a first round team, and they're going after that. All right, that's the Heat. I'm giving them a 6.5, not a 7.
Me too.
6.5. That's it. Even the description says they're going to give you a first round exit, playoff exit.
Yep.
Like that's sad when you can project that.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then we have, I think, a top 3 team in the East. We have the Milwaukee Bucks. What can we say about the Bucks?
Giannis.
That's about it. That is the only person on this team that is worth attention.
He makes them worth watching, and like if he has a good season, they will have a good season.
I agree. I totally agree, and it's really, really contingent on him. If he can take that step up, become that megastar that everybody's hoping that he will be, this team is going to be scary.
Yeah, because there's some good pieces around him. Like Middleton's a good player, Brogdon's a good player. I'm not sure about that center position, any of the names.
Brook Lopez.
And like Henson and then Thon Maker, whatever. I think Delly should run the point for them. I think Bledsoe could be their 6th man.
That's interesting. I would put Brogdon at your 6th man and have Bledsoe play your shooting guard because that's what he is to me.
Ah, okay. I like that.
I think and Dellavedova is a better distributor ultimately than Bledsoe. Because Bledsoe is your score first point guard. Yeah. And so, put him at the shooting guard. Have him defend other shooting guards. Because I can see Eric Bledsoe going, like, at least clashing with Klay Thompson a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that'd be a good matchup to watch. Especially if Bledsoe decides that he can score. Oh, man. He's a scary player. He's just too inconsistent.
I agree.
So that's the Milwaukee Bucks. That's the only thing we can say is Giannis. That's it.
Yep. Well, and they also got a new arena this year, so good for them.
That's very true. They have a solid 3-point shooting though.
Mm-hmm.
Like
sneaky.
Yeah, they're a sneaky team. I think ultimately if they're a 3 seed, I think they can make the conference finals for the East.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Their ceiling is there. If they can break through it, we'll be surprised and happy. But that's about it. What do you give the Bucks?
7.
7. I give them a 7 too, actually, because they waived Brandon Jennings again.
Yeah.
After the 4th try with this team, and then we have the most talked about team this summer.
Oh my God, team drama.
Oh my goodness, it sounds like we're in high school again. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves starting with 5 is Jeff Teague, Derrick Rose, Andrew Wiggins, Taj Gibson, and Karl Anthony Towns. Oh my goodness. This team
on paper that should be a great team. On paper. And especially we know Derrick Rose is not going to be their starting shooting guard also.
No.
But like on paper their roster the ones that will play. Because Tyus Jones is going to get some minutes. Luol Deng will get some minutes because he didn't do anything last year, so he's fresh.
Yeah.
Anthony Tolliver is a solid piece. Gorgie Jang is a solid piece. Like on paper, this is it should be a good team.
Yep.
In reality, nah, they're not.
No, as Butler even said it. You have Wiggins, who is one of the most gifted ass players in the freaking league. And he hasn't lived up to that potential. He has actually, in my honest opinion, gotten worse watching him in the preseason.
Yeah.
Then you have Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is he could be a baller in this league.
He could be. Should be.
Should be, but I don't know. Those two, they have so much hype around them, and they're ultimately going to end up being average players.
Yep.
Which is sad because they're both top 3 picks. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Towns was 2, right? Or 1?
Yeah, he was.
He was a 2 pick, yeah. And then the Wolves have been trying to get rid of Gorgui Dieng for almost 4 years already.
Yeah.
Ever since they signed him, they were just like, shit, we made a mistake.
Yep.
But as Butler said it during the whole offseason, he wanted to get paid. Obviously, he has been the best player on this team when he got signed by them. And you didn't pay the man.
Yeah, it's almost like his situation is almost kind of like the Le'Veon Bell situation. Like they don't want to pay him because of like the end of that deal. They don't want to be paying an older Jimmy Butler X amount of money.
Yeah.
But if he's your best player, he's your best player.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what do you think of the whole situation? His first practice back.
I think it's hilarious.
You effing need me.
Yep.
And hands down, 100%, they do need him. You're not gonna find a talent like that, dude. He works his ass. The man is a scary working machine.
Yep.
This has turned into the Bulls 2.0 when Tom Thibodeau was coaching the Bulls.
Yes, it has.
Because you got 4 players from that team. Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson, excuse me. But I think Tyus Jones needs to be at least in this starting lineup.
Okay.
They've stunted his growth as a player.
Yeah.
Because you brought in Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose last year was fucking terrible on this team. And you're trying to make Derrick Rose a starter again, and obviously he's not. Jeff Teague, I have nothing bad to say about Jeff Teague. I just think he's another George Hill. Unfortunately, he can show up and ball out, but then 90% of the time he's not going to.
Yep.
And he gets beat by every single other point guard in the league right now, besides Aaron Brooks or whatever his name, Patrick Beverly, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. This team is going nowhere fast. It's on a treadmill. That's about it. What would you grade the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Well, they should be like a 7, but they're not. They're like a 5.
Which is sad because they went 1-5 in this preseason, and I have to 100% agree with you. So that's the Minnesota Timberwolves for us. I don't think we have anything more to say about it. But let's head into the ends. We got the New Orleans Pelicans. Interesting team to say the least. Especially, I don't think Anthony Davis played at all during the preseason. Mm-hmm. I think he got injured, right? Or was he injured at the end of the year? Yeah, I think so.
A little bit. So who knows? But this team will only go as far as he goes.
Exactly.
And I don't know, for somebody that gets the attention or the notoriety of being like a top 5 player in the league, you don't see it from him all of the time. You know, on all the rankings and stuff, he's going to be top 10, top 5. Sometimes, depending on who's talking, he's top 3 player in the league. But it doesn't seem to translate.
Yeah, I ultimately I don't even think it's his fault. I think this team has held him back.
Yeah.
When he had DeMarcus Cousins and they were playing together, it took him a little bit to get used to each other, but once they did, they were solid together. Even with Rajon Rondo on this team last year. Rondo was averaging 10 assists a game?
Yes.
With him on that team? That's scary to me. That could imagine Rondo, Cousins, and Davis 1 year later. I think if they had stuck together this year, that would have been a scary team.
I agree.
Hands down. Because nobody's guarding Cousins or Davis in this league.
Because they can't.
They're just too big, too powerful at this point. But look, the starting 5 for the Orleans is you got Elfrid Payton, Drew Holiday, Etuan Moore, Julius Randle, and Anthony Davis. I think Julius Randle is going to be a surprise on this team. I think he's going to fill the role of Cousins very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be as good, but he's going to be suitable with this team here. I like Drew Holiday just because he was a Sixers and I watched him for so long until they traded him. I don't think he's worth $25 million.
I agree, but again, the market,
that's what the market. You got to pass. You got a guard entering his prime now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. I just hope he just needs to take that step forward, the next step. If he can take that next step, he'd be a very interesting player. I don't like Elfrid Payton.
I don't either.
Elfrid Payton and his stupid ass hair.
Yep.
That freaking peacock that he puts together on his head. I don't know. I don't think he's a starter at all in this league.
I agree.
So I don't know why they're even attempting to put him there at the point guard position. But this team they don't have anybody else to fill any of the holes that they would have if they brought him off the bench. But it's a make or break year for him. Jahlil Okafor signed with this team for $1 million. And he's going to play behind Anthony Davis. And I think he's going to be serviceable because he's going to be that energy guy off the bench who's going to get you 10 to 15 points. I think
just give Davis a rest.
Exactly. Like, that's all you need. If you can get somebody who can give Davis a rest for, 15 minutes at most, then you're solid.
Yeah,
and then
that's fair.
Mirotic is on this team as well. He's making $12 million a year. I don't think he's even worth that right now.
Maybe, but
he can't. He has that.
No, he can't. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think this is a team definitely that we have to wait and see. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because also Ian Clark is on this team. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a serviceable point guard.
He is.
I think he can. I would stick him into the lineup because he can play defense.
Yep.
Elfrid Payton can't. So that's the main issue with the starting lineup for the Pelicans is they have nobody plays defense besides Etuan Moore. And that's not that's a shame right there. That's a shame. But let's move on. Oh, what do you give the Pelicans ranking wise?
6.
Damn. I would give them a 6 too. Because I don't know. It all depends on Anthony Davis and if he can drag this team to the playoffs, but I don't think he's going to.
Yeah.
Now let's go to one of the bigger market teams. We got the New York Knicks.
Do we have to? # bad team. They're all they're so awful. And Porzingis isn't ready to go. They're just awful. This is a terrible team.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even like Kevin Knox. He got blocked so many times watching the summer league. I mean the preseason and summer league.
Yeah, everybody's making such a big deal out of it. I don't see it. This is a bad team.
This is a terrible team. Kevin Knox can't. I don't think he's ready to be even in the NBA. He should have stayed another year.
Yeah.
But the only saving grace for this team is probably Trey Burke. He's going to be their sixth man.
On this team. Yeah.
Because Emmanuel Mudiay is trash. I don't even know why. Courtney Lee is... I don't know why he's not starting. Is he injured or some shit?
I don't know. Well, he's old also.
That's
you
true.
Have to think about it. So...
Wait. Yeah. This is their starting lineup. Trey Burke, Hardaway Jr., Knox, Thomas, and Cantor. That says a lot.
This is a bad. Let's move on. This is a bad.
Yeah. My favorite player on this team, Ron Baker. Oh man, I'm giving the Knicks a 2.
Yeah, they deserve a 2.
They deserve it too. Frank, how do you say his last name?
Ntilikina.
Don't curse at me. I don't even think he's that good. He's surprising. He's going to be a surprise if him and Porzingis play well together. But beyond that, you're right. They're not going to be a very good team this year. They're a lottery team.
Yep.
So let's move on. Then we got an interesting team. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Ooh, what can we say about the Thunder?
This team is constructed in a way that will make Russell Westbrook look good. That's all they apparently care about. Not winning, but making sure that Russell averages a triple double by doing whatever it is they do to make sure that he gets that. Especially the rebounding department and on defense.
Oh my gosh, don't even. And he's not even gonna be ready for the start of the season. So like, I don't even know. Raymond Felton is gonna start there. Raymond Felton, that's a card. Yep. That's a motherfucking card right there. I don't even like him.
Yep.
But like this team is gonna be an interesting team to watch. So you got Westbrook starting, Abrines starting, which is interesting. Unless he's
he started because it's because Robertson is hurt.
Oh yeah, I forgot Robertson was in this team.
Yeah,
that's really sad.
Yeah,
that's really sad. You got Paul George, Jerrion Grant, or is it Jerrion Grant? No, Jeremiah Grant. And Jeremy Grant, whatever his name is. I don't care. And then you got Steven Adams,
who I like as a player, but
he's just on a bad team.
He is on a bad team.
This team is never going to show him as like amazing, which is like terrible.
Yep.
Like he's got paid and everything, but like he's so good, and they're just using him to be Russell Westbrook's bodyguard, pretty much.
Yeah.
But this team can also be very scary, which is very, very interesting because they do have a very good second unit.
They do, but unfortunately, I could see this playing out again. They're going to lose in the first round again.
Yeah, unless Paul George can cement his status as a superstar, I don't see this team going very far.
I agree.
That's sad to say, but ultimately that's where they're going to be at. So many other people would say that we're sleeping on them, but I don't think anybody's sleeping on them. Nobody cares, which is the main issue.
Yes. Yeah. They only get attention because Westbrook's on that team, and his stats will make them relevant.
Light up the board, as most may say.
Yeah, that's whatever.
That's it. That's the only thing that's keeping them relevant at this point. So let's move on. Oh, what do you rank them?
5.5.
5.5. I'm going to give them a 6.5.
Okay.
But CBS has given them a grade of an A+.
Whatever.
They don't got eyes, man. They're not watching the same type of things that we are. Next we got the Orlando Magic, the fuck all Orlando Magic.
This is an even worse team than the Knicks.
Yeah,
this is my worst team in the league.
Oh my goodness, I don't even think I want to talk about them.
I don't either.
All right. Let's move on then. Orlando Magic, what are you giving them?
Let's move on. They're probably like a 1. I mean,
I give them a 2 just because Aaron Gordon is not even an all-star in my eyes.
Yeah, however, he kind of did get robbed in that dunk contest, though.
Oh, I totally agree. That's their highlight, though, as a team.
Yeah,
Aaron
that's
Gordon
sad.
in the dunk contest.
That's so sad.
Oh man, let's move on. We got my hometown team, one of my favorite teams. We got the Philadelphia 76ers.
My Eastern Conference team.
This team is going to be very interesting. You have Ben Simmons, who's going to be your big ass point guard.
Yep.
Markelle Fultz is apparently starting with Robert Covington, Dario Saric, and Joel Embiid rounding out the rest of this team. They're a young team. That's pretty much what we can say. They're a young team.
They're going to be fun to watch. Now, if they've improved upon what happened to them last year, if they've kind of taken a look at what went wrong and fixed it and addressed it in the offseason, that's going to be the key here. So, did Ben Simmons learn how to shoot? Did Markelle Fultz relearn how to shoot? You never know. Did Embiid work on all of his game? Did he get stronger? Did he get better conditioned?
Did Dario also improve his shooting with his all around ability that he has? Because honestly, I feel like Dario Saric reminds me of Draymond Green.
Okay.
Because he's not going to be the first 3 options on this team, hands down. He's going to be Draymond Green, the 4th option, until DeMarcus Cousins come back, and then that's a whole nother situation. But when Saric has the ball, he goes inside. He can go inside out, outside in, and also distribute. Like, he can do everything on that team, but has he improved enough to get to that point as well? Like, there's so many, and we got to get rid of Robert Covington.
I agree.
We're paying that man $10 million a year. I can play his position better than he can at this point. Like, I don't know why we gave him that much money. Ugh.
I don't know either.
Like, and we have Wilson Chandler as the other small forward, and that's the only other small forward on this team. What are we doing? I would start Wilson Chandler over Robert Covington. That gives us at least some defense.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, this team, if we fix those deficiencies or improved on those deficiencies, the Sixers are going to challenge for in the Western Conference Finals, I believe.
I agree.
So that's all. I'm obviously going to toot my team's horn, you know.
Go for it, man.
So I think I'm going to give the Sixers an 8 this year.
Okay. Cool. I'll ride with that.
All right, sweet. Then we can tweet each other and be like, we were both wrong when that point comes. And then next we go to another team that I don't even really want to talk about either, is the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, that's
ugh.
Outside of Devin Booker, who's just gonna put up numbers like
empty
what
numbers
else?
At that.
They're gonna be incredibly empty.
And I like the emphasis on incredibly empty. Like that's the sad part, because none of their draft picks have panned out at all besides him. I don't. Josh Jackson can be something special in this league. I think
he doesn't look like he wants it. He looks like Phoenix's Andrew Wiggins.
I agree. That's the sad part. He has so much like potential, and he's just there. That's it. And then you got Dragan Bender, the next coming of Dirk, as so many people touted him as when he first got there.
Please,
the man is scoring 6.5 points a season. Like that's sad. That is so sad. That is so sad. At least he's healthy.
The Suns in general just sad. Let's just move on.
Yeah. What are you giving these guys?
2.
2. I agree. And the crazy thing is, Devin Booker is not even going to be freaking ready to go.
I know.
Like, Ayton looks interesting. He looks interesting. So many people are touting him to be better than Joel Embiid, but I don't think so.
I agree.
I don't think so. He didn't show it at all to me during the preseason. And he's going to obviously put up a lot of numbers because there's nobody else on that team that can score.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that. Next we go to the Portland Trailblazers. The Trailblazers, this is a make or break it season for this team.
Yes, and for Terry Stotts and for Lillard and McCollum, like, because if nothing happens, if they can't make it past the first round this year, then Stotts, like, they gotta find a new direction, and then Lillard and McCollum have to think long and hard about where they want to be, where they want to go.
Exactly, because if I was both of them, because I think they're both coming up on, I think after this year is their contract year, if I'm not mistaken. So they're both going to end up, if they can't make it out of the first round to those next 2 years, they're definitely leaving.
Yeah, because we've already heard because they talk a big game about staying there and being there for life, and McCollum especially talks a big game about like hating super teams and just hating on the Warriors mostly, but I think he's just salty because the Warriors kick their ass all the time.
Oh yeah.
So,
but
smacked. Yeah, and he gets super salty about it. It's just like, dude, y'all did have a stacked team at one point, and then you couldn't beat them. So I mean, it's just it just is what it is. But both of them are probably going to make the same business decision that other people do.
Oh, ultimately, yeah.
We've already heard about possibilities of Lillard going to the Lakers. Yeah. So, it's at this point it's just kind of a matter of time. Seth Curry being on this team is interesting. Stauskas being on this team is interesting.
I don't even know how Stauskas is still an NBA player, to tell you the truth.
That's what I mean by interesting.
Like this man is a journeyman, and he's supposed to be like a 3-and-D guy, and he can't even do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that blows me away. I don't even know. I wish I had his career because at least I can say I'm making money as an NBA player.
Yeah,
and he was touted to be like a pretty big deal when he came out of Michigan too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I think Evan Turner is trash. At least
Yeah.
now he can't do anything besides play the mid range, and you can't do anything in the mid range in this league anymore.
Agreed.
Myers Leonard was supposed to be their savior at some point after they got rid of Aldridge, and then Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic. He's a solid player.
He is,
he
but
just can't do anything beyond play back to the basket and protect the paint.
Yeah,
that's why they got rid of him off the Nuggets.
I agree. But basically they're in a position they got to show something. Yeah. They got to show some signs of improvement. And if not, we don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. This team is going to get broken up, and I say in 3 years, if that's not the case.
At the most 3 years. I don't think they'll even make it that long.
Fair enough. Unless their draft picks pan out, but I don't even know who the hell they are.
Yeah, same.
What are you giving the Trailblazers this year?
6.
I'm going to give them a 6.5.
Okay.
I think that's fair for them right now. They have to prove it otherwise.
Yep.
Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings.
Do we have to?
No, we could probably do them dirty just like we did with the Suns.
Yeah.
Oh man, this team has De'Aaron Fox and Bogdanovich is on this team too.
It's a different Bogdanovich, I think.
Are they both named Bogdan?
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, is that the guy's name is on the Nets?
I thought it was on the Pacers. The Pacers have one.
Are they just breeding?
Oh my god.
Oh, it's on the Nets is Bojan.
Okay.
Bogdanovich. And this is Bogdan Bogdanovich.
Oh my god, that's so confusing.
Why is your last name the same as your first name?
I don't know.
I didn't even know Iman Shumpert was on this team.
Wow. All right, and then they have Randolph, Marvin Bagley III, who people are expecting things from, but and then Cauley Stein, who we haven't seen anything from ever.
Actually, he had a solid season last year, but there was nobody else on this team, so obviously he's going to have a solid season.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else they have? They have De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, we said him already.
I thought I said Justin Jackson.
Nah.
Who the hell is Justin Jackson?
I don't know. Oh, they have Macklemore. Remember he was supposed to be a thing?
Yeah. And it's so sad because like the Kings traded him to the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies were just like, okay, we rented him for a year. You got to take him back. He's not worth it. Like,
yeah.
And then you have Buddy Hield on this team as well, who I think he's a solid player. He's solid, but that's all I can say. He's solid. That's it.
Yeah, this is another bad team.
This is another bad team. That's it. Unfortunately, I'm giving them a 2.5.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then next, we talk about a team that has been decimated by injuries already.
Uh-huh.
And that is the San Antonio Spurs.
It's the dawning of a new day out there.
Oh, my goodness. Don't even get me started. The San Antonio Spurs starting lineup, you got Patty Mills, DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Pau Gasol. Ultimately, if you're starting Pau Gasol at this late in the game, you're strapped for talent. Let me tell you. Because Pau Gasol is a bench guy at 38 years old. Yeah. If it was 5 years ago, it'd be different.
Yeah, but he ain't that Pau anymore.
No, he's not. He is not. LaMarcus Aldridge, I think he's gonna definitely show out this year, but I don't think he's gonna be anywhere near as good as he should be.
I think that's a fair assessment of his career.
100% there. Oh my gosh. Because if you really think about it, he's never been the best player on his team. Because
he's always thought he was, especially in Portland.
Oh, especially in Portland. Like because he was with Brandon Roy And Brandon Roy was nasty. So you can't be like LaMarcus Aldridge is the best player on that team at that point.
And then after he went down, they drafted Dame Lillard.
Yeah,
so,
and Lillard came out of nowhere.
Yep.
And even before Brandon Roy joined that team, you had Greg Oden was on that team, and Greg Oden was hands down better than LaMarcus at that time. Before Greg Oden decided to reveal that he had 2 different size legs.
Apparently, yeah, that's so crazy.
How you 7 foot and you don't get that corrected sometime down the road?
Who knows, man?
But yeah, this team has been decimated by injuries, which is really sad because I thought DeJounte Murray was going to have a breakout season this year.
I did too. And
then he has a torn ACL, I believe, or is it MCL?
MCL, I think.
Oh, yeah, he's out for the rest of the season. He's not coming back this year. I believe their other starter, Derek White, he
got injured too.
He has a meniscus injury, but they say he's going to be back in about a month and a half.
Okay.
But,
well, Pop is going to have this team play hard.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not sure about their playoff status. For the first time in like 20 years, I can say like
I can 100% agree with you because like he's going to get. He pulled it out last year. He was able to get Rudy Gay to play some defense. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, Rudy Gay plays some defense. If he can get DeMar DeRozan. DeMar is the best player on this team, unfortunately. And
he doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah. I think he's a poor man's Kawhi at this point. I don't think he's ever been that good.
Yep.
I like DeMar. Like his game. He's been slept on every year, but there's a reason why he's slept on. And I just don't think he stands out, which is the issue. His game is very basic, very boring, and he doesn't really add anything to the table besides being like, I can bolster your shooting. And that's about it for me. Like,
yeah,
that's
fair.
This team is going to be interesting. He's going to definitely... Pop is going to drag him somewhere. Let's hopefully we don't drag him to the bottom of the barrel at this point, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. 20 years of success and you're going to get bullshit at the end of it, right?
Yeah, well, it happens to the best of them.
Yeah.
Everything, all good things must come to an end at some point.
Yeah, I agree. And then what are you giving the Spurs this year?
6.5.
I give them a 6.5 as well. They lost too many pieces. And just injury has really, really hurt him. I think the whole Kawhi Leonard leaving as well. Ugh, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
I really like. And he's starting to show out over there too in Toronto. Speaking of Toronto, that's who we're talking about next. The Toronto Raptors. I ultimately think they're going to be a real contender as long as everybody stays healthy. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have any setbacks with his injuries. They're going to be a monster on this side of the East here.
Yeah,
because you got Kyle Lowry, he's probably one of the scrappiest and strongest point guards I've ever seen. Danny Green, who's your 3-and-D guy. Kawhi Leonard, who's the best all-around player on this team. Serge Ibaka, who looks to be having a resurgence in his career at this point. And then Jonas Valanciunas, who has actually surprised me over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So this team is going to be very, very good. They have a very solid bench as well, with Van Vliet coming off the bench. Who else here? Anunoby is also very good. Siakam is very good. CJ Miles is going to be their guy who can play, who could come in and just decide to score. And then Norman Powell as well, who's going to be a three-point shooter for them. And we already mentioned it. Greg Monroe is the backup center on this team. That's about it though. They have a solid first starting unit and they have a solid second unit, but it all depends on the starting unit and how well they've gelled together at this point.
Yep.
What are you going to give them as a rank?
Give them like an 8.
An 8. That's a good number, I think, for them at this point. There's a lot of things like circumstantially that need to happen for them to really prove to everybody that they're going to be contenders this year. Like, wait, not contenders. They're going to get out of this Kawhi Leonard controversy bubble or whatever it is. So
yeah.
So next we got the Utah Jazz. Now I like this team.
I do too, and
really
that's saying something from a Houstonian because I'm supposed to hate the Jazz.
Yeah.
But I kind of like this team. Like I rooted for them against the Thunder last year because I can't stand the Thunder anymore. I love Donovan Mitchell's game.
He is something else.
He's a special player.
Else. He's going to be very special in this league somewhere down the road. Who else? Look at their starting lineup. They got Ricky Rubio, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Derek Favors, and Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is winning another Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Despite being soft.
Oh, my goodness. This man is soft. He's making $23 million a year for being that soft. He's as soft as a freaking towel just came out of the dryer. Don't even get me started.
Yep.
Then you got... Their team is looking pretty dang solid, though. They have Thabo Sefolosha coming off the bench.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's still here. I don't know. He's going to be their potential 3-and-D guy off the bench. Depending on if he can stay healthy, because he's always injured. He's often injured.
Yes.
Jay Crowder is here as well. He's a good defensive player for them.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Alec Burks and Grayson Allen, who has actually shown some promise during this preseason.
He has.
It's very interesting. I think he's going to slowly become a 3-and-D guy for them.
Yeah.
So this team is very interesting. They do have a lot of upside, but do you think they're gonna challenge for one of the top 5 spots in the West this year?
No, I think they'll probably end up being around where they were last year, but I think they'll be a tough out.
Oh, I agree. I think they can push any team to 7 games because this team is very, very solid defensively. Like, it's kind of scary to really think about it because, like, the only weak link in that chain, honestly, is going to be Joe Ingles.
Yes. However, he was balling last year, though.
Oh my goodness.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like looking like Toby Flenderson from The Office.
Yo, my goodness, Joe Ingles, he was something else for them last year. When Donovan Mitchell couldn't even get it going, Joe Ingles was just like, I got this.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody's just like, really, you got this? And he's just like, don't worry, I distribute. And then he was distributing like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And then you can pop the 3 so easily for him. He's a 45% 3-point shooter. I think that's a solid 3-point shooter anywhere.
Yep.
Like, he's going to be good for them. He's not going to get as many minutes as he did last year.
True.
With some of these other players here, but he's definitely he's going to be there in the crunch time for them, especially when the games are close. But what are you giving the Jazz here?
7.
7. I'd give him a 7 as well. Yo, they released David Stockton.
Oh, they did? Ooh.
They waived him. I bet you John is not very happy.
Probably not.
But let's see. Did he get signed anywhere else? Oh, this man stayed all 4 years in college. That's why. He's 27 as well, so he probably stayed there. Did something else longer too. I don't know what he's doing, unless he played overseas after he got out. But apparently, he's not that good. Beyond that, let's talk about the last team of the 2000 NBA season. We have the Washington Wizards. This is a make or break season for the Wizards.
Yeah, the Wizards are the Eastern Conference Portland Trailblazers.
And it's really sad because they have the same with the Trailblazers. They have a hell of a 1 and 2 guards.
Yep. And
they are not doing anything at this point.
That's correct. They are not.
They're going to be a 5 to 6 seed in this league unless they decide to ball out.
They're going to be that way they're going to make the playoffs in the East just by default.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, what type of noise can you make in the playoffs at this point? That's the only question that's on their mind.
Yeah, and I to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if they made the conference finals. Their team is too good to not be pushing it that far into the playoffs. You know?
Yeah, I agree, but again, like, are they though? Is the question, and my answer at this point, nah.
Yeah,
don't see it.
I totally understand too, which is really sad. They started John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter Jr., Marquise Morris or Marcus.
I think it's Markieff.
And then you got Dwight Howard rounding out their top 5. I think getting rid of Gortat was an interesting decision they made because him and Dwight Howard made the same money.
Yeah, but Gortat and Wall didn't get along. Apparently, they hated each other.
That's interesting because Gortat was their goon.
Yeah,
the Polish Hammer was their goon.
Yeah, well, they swapped goons, but Dwight Howard is a goon for a different reason.
Yeah, he's just a fool at this point in his career.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started. But I think if Kelly Oubre Jr. makes the step forward, I say insert him into the starting lineup, move Porter to the 4, and then maybe go small and have Markieff play the center position because their other center is not even worth it. It's Ian Mahinmi.
Jan Mahinmi.
Jan Mahinmi. And then they drafted Troy Brown, and I don't even know when he got drafted.
I don't know
15th.
either.
15th. So it looks like they're trying to project for the future here.
Okay.
Because he's a 3 and he can shoot the 3. He's very solid footwork wise down at the paint, and he can block. So he's everything that they want, but he might just be too young to get him to that point. One of my least favorite players on this team is Austin Rivers. I've already mentioned that.
Same. Yep. He's a punk.
He's a punk. Too entitled. He didn't even have a good college season, and he decided to step out.
He had that one good game versus North Carolina.
That's it.
That's all he has.
That's all he has under his belt, and that's it. This team is going to be interesting to watch. They have a lot of good pieces here, a lot of 3-point shooters, if I might say. They have Jeff Green, who's going to shoot the 3 any day because whenever he's open, he's going to shoot it.
Yep.
Jordan McRae, he's going to shoot it also because he's a Tennessee player. So anybody in Tennessee shoots the 3. Jody Meeks, I'm still confused as to why he's in the league. It's Jody Meeks. He's like they were just like name some 3-point shooters, and they were just like Jody Meeks, and everybody's like, who's that? I thought he was gone. And then you got Austin Rivers, who's supposed to be a 3-point shooter, but can't even shoot above 30%.
That's correct.
And then you got Otto Porter Jr., who was supposed to who had his breakout season 2 years ago and hasn't followed up since.
Yep.
He was supposed to be the savior of that team. He can't do shit.
So I know. So again, this is just like the Blazers. It's like if they can't show any sort of progress this year, then Wall and Beal need to look for they're probably going to start asking for trades or trying to be moved, and then they need to find a coach that's better than Brooks.
Oh my gosh. And the worst part is Scotty Brooks was a good coach when he was with the Thunder.
I agree.
And then it's essentially he has the same situation, and he just can't get this team to get the W at all.
Yep.
And it's so sad. It's so sad to really think that. But, Oh, man. That was our NBA preview. Holy crap. That was about 2 hours, Lance. We did it. All 32 teams. We talked too much. Oh, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for coming out. I want to thank Lance for even sitting down with me for this podcast. I know it was 2 hours out of his day. He's going to go watch the Astros play.
That's right.
I wish him all the best of luck with this team. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching. This is going up tomorrow because the season starts on the 16th. So,
excellent.
That. But, as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for coming out. And I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Peace. Lance?
Peace.
Peace.